Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's head outside and take a look outside our weather window from this afternoon. And what a day out there. Not quite as hot as we've seen the last couple of days, but just about normal for this time of year. And what a beautiful one with a light breeze. Here's a great look back down the Columbia River. You see Turtle Rock, the left center part of your screen, and lots of clear skies out there with just maybe some high cloudiness. But all in all, it was a beautiful day, but a cold front will be barreling through. And with these warm temperatures and a low humidities and with the wind that's coming up, we do have a red flag warning in effect. It did go in effect at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It will go until 10 p.m. tonight. Once again, winds will pick up as a cold front moves through, and that will mean critical fire danger because of this weather, I should say. So be very, very careful out there. Relative humidities right now between 10 and 15%. We'll have much more weather to talk about a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. This year has been especially challenging for travelers on Interstate 90 on or near Snoqualmie Pass. And Wenatchee School District Superintendent Dr. Paul Gordon recently talked with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz about how difficult it was to decide not to have students back in classrooms in just a little over 2 weeks. But first, we begin tonight. Level 1 evacuation notices were issued this morning for residents near the Lower Coyote Creek Fire. That's in Okanogan County. The fire, about 4 miles west of Nespelem, had burned an estimated 4,500 acres by Tuesday morning. The fire alert notices went out for the area between Red Thunder Cutoff Road, Mill Creek Road to Harrison Ranch Road. After the fire broke out Sunday, level 3 evacuation notices were sent out to houses along Columbia River Road, but those have since been lowered to level 1. The incident management team on the fire set a red flag warning today. I just mentioned that between 2 and 10 o'clock in the area helped prompt that evacuation notice. Well, this year has been especially challenging for travelers on Interstate 90 on or near Snoqualmie Pass. The Washington State Department of Transportation says problems in 2 areas have led to sometimes long delays for travelers. Especially troublesome is an eastbound section of the interstate. It's about 9 miles east of the summit. At the Stampede Pass interchange, a section of roadway required emergency closure last month that led to 15-mile backups. Work on a more permanent fix began on Monday and is expected to take about 2 weeks, with the biggest delays and closures expected the week of August 17th. Another problem area for travelers has been the eastbound lanes of the Vantage Bridge. There have been unplanned lane closures this summer as holes developed on the bridge deck pavement. The bridge decking hasn't been replaced since the 1980s, and crews had to do 12 separate deck repairs on that bridge last year only to see the problems return this year. It'll cost $11 million to replace the bridge deck, and WashDOT says other bridges in the state have more urgent needs, so it isn't likely to happen soon. Well, Wenatchee School District Superintendent Dr. Paul Gordon recently talked with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz about how difficult it was to decide not to have students back in classrooms. With school set to begin in just over 2 weeks, Gordon said the decision was the most difficult of his career.
We were working hard in the summertime, our last day with our students. We really started developing a 3-tiered plan. We knew we needed to have an online school, Wenatchee Internet Academy, that we launched, and we had great leaders take that on. And we also knew we needed a hybrid and a face-to-face, so we were working diligently to really work through all of those different pieces. However, the COVID in the area continued to increase. So one of the things that I am fortunate to be able to do is to be on weekly calls with our ESD. Dr. Michelle Price is an outstanding area superintendent, and she really was able to bring forward medical professionals from local and state to help guide our thinking. In the Wenatchee School District and all the other Chelan and Douglas County and throughout the region, we've got really great educational experts. We're not medical experts. So we needed to lean into the experts. And what we started hearing roughly now about 15 days ago was the amount of COVID in the Chelan-Douglas County area. And understanding where they wanted us to be was about 25 cases per 100,000. And at times we were above 550 cases per 100,000. And really being able to hear from the Chelan-Douglas County lead medical, Dr. Malcolm Butler, hearing from Confluence Health, Dr. Peter Rutherford, hearing from Columbia Valley, David Olson, the CEO over there, and many others. And what they started telling us was, from their perspective, it was too dangerous. It was too much of a risk for the amount of COVID in our community. And that's a real important indicator, as we saw from Governor Inslee's press conference yesterday. If you have less COVID in your community, it's safer to bring your students and staff together. And those were the guidelines that started to really influence me. And at that regional superintendent's meeting, I remember saying to the team is, I think collectively we really need to think about going online and teaching online. And that was that first day that all of us kind of sat back and said, we're back to online learning and teaching, and really trying to make sure that we were prepared for that moment, and why I came to that recommendation, my cabinet's recommendation to the board. Literally the hardest recommendation I've ever had to do.
Coming up next, we now know who will face first-term Congresswoman Kim Schreier in the race for the 8th District Congressional seat. We'll tell you who that is. In addition to dealing with numerous wildfires this summer, firefighters have been battling COVID-19 by taking extra precautions to avoid a camp outbreak. The State Department of Health will be surveying farm workers this month as it launches an effort to better understand the impact of COVID-19 on that population. And last week, Stemilt held its Grower Awards ceremony via Zoom, where they celebrated their growing team and announced the recipients of its 2019 Grower Awards. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
The two hottest pickups in America are at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. First, the Ram 1500 with back-to-back Truck of the Year awards from Motor Trend, and now the Car and Driver 10 Best list for 2020. They call it a luxury sedan with pickup capabilities. Ram is on a roll now with third-generation eco-diesel power. Next up, the Jeep Gladiator, also a 2020 10 Best model based on the new award-winning Jeep Wrangler. It has options and capabilities that no other truck can offer. Two more reasons when it comes to buying a truck: there's no reason to leave town.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Hi, Stephen DeVilbus here, Branch Manager of Beneficial and Home Care. We are an equal opportunity employer, and we do not discriminate in employment or services. It is our mission to maximize our clients' physical health and sense of mental well-being while remaining in the comfort of their home. We are currently seeking professional caregivers who share our mission to help our clients live safely and comfortably at home. Call Beneficial and Home Care. Schedule your interview today, 509-663-7900.
Welcome back. In another news, first-term Congresswoman Dr. Kim Schreier will face former U.S. Army Ranger Jesse Jensen in the race for the 8th District Congressional seat. Jensen was in a tight race with fellow Republican Keith Swank for second place after early results on last week's primary election, but has since widened his lead. By last night, Jensen had clinched a place on that November ballot with a 5,745 vote lead over Swank. Schreier easily outdistanced all the candidates on the primary ballot with more than 37% of the votes. She won in every county in the district, including Chelan and Douglas counties. Well, in addition to dealing with numerous wildfires this summer, firefighters have been battling COVID-19 by taking extra precautions to avoid a camp outbreak. The U.S. Forest Service said masks are mandatory in fire camps and people must be screened before entering any building. Morning briefings are done by radio and meals are individually packed to go rather than the normal camp kitchen setup. In addition, hand washing stations and hand sanitizers are positioned throughout the camps. Thus far, only one firefighter has been reported to have tested positive for the virus. That was the State Department of Natural Resources firefighter who tested positive while fighting the Anglin fire near Tonasket. Well, the State Department of Health will be surveying farm workers this month as it launches an effort to better understand the impact of COVID-19 on that population. In some areas of the state, like Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanogan counties, farm workers have accounted for a disproportionate number of the positive tests for the virus. The state says the results of the study will help officials to better respond to the needs of the farm worker community. California recently released results from a similar survey that showed most farm workers do wear face coverings and concluded that the fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic is transforming the entire agricultural industry. Well, in other news, late last week, Stamilt held its Grower Awards ceremony via Zoom, where they celebrated their growing team and announced the recipients of its 2019 Grower Awards. Normally, the company gathers for a grower barbecue each year, but the event was canceled, of course, due to COVID-19. Distributed by Stamilt's field staff, 13 growers were selected and awarded based on the high-quality fruit they produced during the 2019 crop year. A few of those winners include Pear Award winner, you just saw him there, Jeff Thornton. Organic Apple Award winners, that's Bernard Reyes, Jose Garcia, Salvador Cardenas, and Ismael Torres. And Valley Red Cherry Award winners, Eric and Kyler Hansen. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Nissan is the value leader in new cars and SUVs. Check out these new models starting at under $20,000. The all-new Versa from $17,020. The all-new Sentra from $17,400. And the all-new Kicks from $17,995. Now you can have the Nissan style, performance, and reliability, all for under $20,000.
And they're all here at Town Nissan, up behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging and Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
I have fiber at home because it allows me to do a great job in my profession. It allows me to learn things that I need to learn at home. It allows my kids to hopefully one day be able to be educated because of what they learned online and what they learned from their teachers. And it allows us to have fun too as a family. And we're able to do a lot of things because of fiber internet. I'm Rudy, and my family learns with fiber.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, as they continue to struggle for revenue with their doors closed, a fundraiser has been set up for Eastmont Lanes in an attempt to help the business open up when they enter Phase 4 of Governor Jay Inslee's reopening plan. Here to tell us more on the fundraising effort is NCWLIFE's Kyle Montgomery.
The COVID-19 pandemic continues to put businesses further in trouble and on the brink of closure around the nation. One local staple that still doesn't have a clear path to open is Eastmont Lanes. And as they struggle to earn enough revenue to stay in business, the possibility of Eastmont Lanes closing permanently becomes more of a reality as the days pass. The lanes have been closed since the end of May and will not be allowed to reopen until Phase 4 of Governor Jay Inslee's phase reopening guidelines. The lanes could lose a big part of their annual revenue if weekly leagues, which start in September, are on hold for the remainder of the year. It also remains to be seen if the Eastmont or Wenatchee High School girls will begin their seasons on time, or if they will even begin their seasons at all. However, a Save the Lanes fundraiser has been organized for August 29th and 30th, where there will be a community yard sale, silent auction, and barbecue, with all the money raised being used to help Eastmont Lanes to reopen when safe to do so. The Lanes are currently looking for community yard sale donations, as well as donations for the barbecue and silent auction, and can be reached at eastmontlanes@msn.com or 509-884-3593 for more information on how you can donate. A list of donation drop-off dates and times is also available on eastmontlanes.net, as well as more information on how you can help save the lanes. Reporting with NCW Life, I'm Kyle Montgomery.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get to those details, as we always do, let's head outside and check out our weather window from this afternoon. And what a beautiful day. Does it get any better than that? Really, here's Turtle Rock right here and lots of clear blue sky above the Cascades. And it was just a beautiful day all across North Central Washington today. Unofficial high temperature right about where we should be for this time of year. 89 degrees unofficially. 88 is our normal high temperature now. Our low temperature this morning was 64, and that's just a couple of degrees above where we should be at 62. Record high 104, set in 1971. Record low 53 in 2008. Here's our sunrise now, 5:53, and sunset is about 8:18. I was telling News Director Cal Fitzsimmons earlier today, those two times are about an hour later now than we saw back on June 21st, the first day of summer. So we've lost about an hour of daylight since then. Let's take a look at how our Wednesday will shape up, our hump day. Well, before we get to that, thank you, Uriah. Don't forget, tonight and tomorrow, the percent meteor shower will happen peak times 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. And we are expecting very clear skies here in North Central Washington. So just look up, and I'll tell you what, you could see as many as 60 meteors per hour. And once again, that's from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. And I'll tell you what, tonight, a much better chance than tomorrow night because we do expect a few more clouds. We'll get to that in a second. Now let's check out our Wednesday forecast, our hump day weather, and things will be much cooler. That's one thing that'll stand out about our Wednesday weather. Cold front moving through. That'll kick up our wind tonight. Red flag warning in place. Remember that from 2 this afternoon, and that goes until 10 o'clock tonight. 82 for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. We will see 82 degrees as well in Wenatchee. And believe it or not, we warm up a little bit as we head up to Highway 97. Our warm spot tomorrow will be Omak with a high tomorrow of 84 degrees. Surface loop time. And tonight we'll see some windy conditions as we mentioned. That prompted that red flag warning. Partly cloudy, but things will clear out in time enough for, I think, you to see some of that meteor shower activity. It will continue to be a little bit breezy. And then as we get into that Wednesday forecast, we just told you much, much cooler for Wednesday, but it will be mostly sunny. High temperatures tomorrow. Boy, we're not going to get out of the low 80s to mid 80s, as we mentioned already. And you can see the light colors. We haven't seen that for a long time in Washington State. The green even indicates some 60-degree temperatures. Things darken up just a little bit for Thursday. We'll warm up into at least the middle 80s across North Central Washington. Just a light breeze for Thursday as well. So it should be a very nice day as we head towards the end of the week. By Friday, right here in Central Washington, we could see just a little bit of breezy activity. It will be sunny and things will begin to warm up as we get into the end of the week. We're talking high temperatures Friday, mainly in the upper 80s, and then things will really start to heat up as we get into the upcoming weekend. A warming trend begins on Saturday. All kinds of clear skies underneath that ridge of high pressure. Our high temperatures on Saturday will creep into the lower 90s. And then as we get into Sunday and especially Monday, our two hottest days that we have seen in a while. Sunshine, and look at the reds all the way down into the desert Southwest. We're talking temperatures here at home, mainly in the middle 90s for Sunday, maybe upper 90s by Monday. Sunny, even hotter. We're expecting triple digits possibly all over at least eastern Washington. Tri-Cities, you're going to get there. Moses Lake, Omak, yes, and I think we will in Wenatchee as well. So get ready for a very hot weather streak, and that's going to happen by the end of this upcoming weekend. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling 7-day forecast. 59 degrees tonight. Heck, open those windows up. Tomorrow night too, but 82 our high temperature for tomorrow, so that'll feel nice, won't it? Mild on Thursday and 84. 88 for Friday. Friday, and then that warm up. 92 on Saturday, 97 for Sunday, and all the way up to 100 degrees as we start our next work week. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue.
Currently, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is open for dine-in and take-out. Owner Justin Hefner and his staff are just as excited as you to get back to their regularly scheduled full menu, music, and poker. So stay tuned. Meanwhile, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is serving a limited menu for lunch and dinner, dine-in or take-out.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. I'm home today. So why in the world am I home and not in the studio? Well, because I had a colonoscopy this morning. I turned 50 a couple of years ago, and I've just been putting it off. And last thing I wanted to do was to have something like that happen. Well, I'll tell you what, after the age of 50, it's recommended that all men and women have a colonoscopy to check and see if there's any problems with cancer. The United States is one of the only countries in the world that has reduced the rate of colon cancer because of screening. So as my wife says, if she can get a boob squish, I can get a colonoscopy. So I highly recommend it. If you've been putting it off, don't do it. The worst part is drinking the 4 liters worth of sludge and then going to the bathroom all night long prior to. But if you haven't had it done yet, go get it done. And let's all take care of each other. Taking care of the players and athletes and coaches. The Pac-12 voted today that it will not have any fall sports. The announcement came shortly after the Big Ten Conference made the same announcement. Pac-12 Commissioner Larry Scott said in a statement, quote, "Our student athletes, fans, staff, and all those who love college sports would like to have seen the season play this calendar year as originally planned, and we know how disappointing this is." He went on to say the health, safety, and well-being of our student athletes and all those connected to Pac-12 sports has been our number one priority since the start of this current crisis. It is expected that all the Big Five conferences will follow suit, and there will be no college football this fall. Well, one day after testing positive for COVID-19, Seahawks wide receiver John Ursua tested negative. The second-year player out of Hawaii was placed on the reserve COVID-19 list after receiving a positive test Saturday. But according to an interview with KHON-TV in Honolulu, Ursua said he tested negative on Sunday. Ursua became the first Seahawk to be placed on the reserve COVID list. NFL's new protocols for players who receive a positive test to be quarantined if they test negative 2 more times and are asymptomatic. The previous result will be considered a false positive, and they'll be able to return to practice, such is the hope for John Ursua. Mariners young and old were introduced to the Texas Rangers' new stadium last night in the first of a 3-game series, and apparently they liked it. Seattle pounded out 10 runs on 15 hits at a 10-2 victory. It marked the first Major League win for pitcher Justin Dunn, who went 6 innings and allowed 2 runs on 7 hits with 3 walks and a couple of strikeouts. Kyle Lewis had a great day at the plate, going 3 for 5, including a 3-run home run that put the Mariners in the lead for good in the top of the 5th inning.
Deep in the gap, deep in the gap. Solak can't get it. A 3-run homer by Kyle Lewis, and the Mariners jump out in front. Man, that thing had some carry.
the roof for him. Scott Service was saying before the game, maybe we'll hit a few home runs here. This is not a bad pitch. It's a breaking ball. It's down in the zone, and he goes down and gets it. That's 410 feet.
Every bit.
Dave Sins and Mike Blowers with the call on Root Sports. The floodgates really opened in the sixth. Dylan Moore plated another of his 3 RBIs in the game on an RBI single and was on base with a couple of the Mariners as Kyle Seager stepped to the plate.
It's up there with the bases loaded. 4 career grand slams. He hit it deep. He hit it far. He hit it out of here. A grand slam for Kyle Seager. And the dam has been broken. A grand slam for Siegs, who continues to torment the Rangers in Texas. 5th career grand slam.
He is off to a terrific start this year.
Man, oh man.
Moore also collected his 4th home run, a solo shot in the 7th. Seager said that second-year player out of Central Florida is certainly one to watch.
He's a stud. He is an absolute stud. He hammers balls. Like, he hits the ball so hard. And, one of the things that he does also is, the defensive versatility is great. He can really pick it. Anywhere he goes, he's really clean there. And he runs. He steals bags. He takes the extra base, but he is a ball player. There's no doubt about it. He is extremely strong, and I know he's made some swing adjustments. The coaches didn't work with him, but the ball comes off of his bat hard, and it is loud. And his ability to drive the ball, especially to the opposite field, is impressive, and that's also a testament to how athletic and how strong he is.
Seattle and Texas playing the second game of the 3-game set tonight. Marco Gonzalez on the mound for the Mariners. Mike Minor will go for Texas. I'll take a look at the Les Schwab American League scoreboard from last night. Lance McCullers Jr. threw 7 innings of one-hit ball to help Houston snap a 5-game losing streak with a 6-4 win over San Francisco. Mike Trout's second homer of the night was the game winner for the Angels in the bottom of the 8th. That gave L.A. a 10-9 win over Oakland. 2 teams combined for 23 hits and 6 home runs. Despite the loss, A's still lead the West by 4.5 games over Houston at 12-5. Seattle sits in 4th at 7-11, 5.5 games back. Well, the stage is set for another night of racing coming up August 22nd at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. The night will feature a return of the Northwest Focus Midget Series along with the Northwest Pro 4 trucks. They'll join the Holiday Custom Muffler B-Mods, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars. Plum Perfect Roadrunners will have the coverage live on the NCWLIFE channel starting at 6 o'clock. That's Saturday, August 22nd. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric, and recover. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. Join me Wednesday for another edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. You'll want to start your day live and local with everything that you need to get your day going. We'll have news, we'll have sports, we'll have that weather forecast, as Grant mentioned, windy. In fact, reminds me of the old joke. What do you call a berry patch on a windy day? Blueberries. You get blueberries. More lame jokes coming your way tomorrow at 7 a.m. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with yours truly, Dan Kuntz. Grant, back to you.
Blueberries. Okay. Thanks, Dan. We'll be watching in the morning. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
At Town Toyota, we believe in our community, and we're proud to support this broadcast of local sports. Town Toyota defines reliability and value in both its products and in the dealership itself. We are home to legendary products like the RAV4, Highlander, and Camry, not to mention Tundras and Tacoma trucks. Of course, we offer service for everything we sell and a great selection of pre-owned and certified vehicles as well. So enjoy the game and visit Town Toyota for all your automotive needs.
I'm Jenny Kerstetter, and you are watching the NCWLIFE channel.